This video brought to you by jadedpainting.com. If you need your miniatures painted to a tabletop standard, check out jadedpainting.com. Hey everyone, welcome back to the final part of this painting tutorial. My name is Jay and I'll be showing you how to finish up painting this Petrov-Morales Corporation weapon specialist with a flame launcher. I base coated all the silver areas on the model with LEADJELCHER paint. LEADJELCHER does an awesome job of going over all the areas with just a single coat, but I do recommend taking your time and doing a nice thin coat as thin as possible so that you don't obscure any of the details on the model. These silver areas included both the barrel of the flame launcher and the bottom part of the flame launcher, the backpack, and his face mask, which guards him from the flames. As you can see, I am taking my time to do a nice even coat. With metallics, sometimes if you don't do thick enough of a coat, the brush strokes will show or you won't get enough coverage over the primer, so you can see through the metallics. The goal is to get a nice even base coat, which we can then shade and highlight over. I also painted the center of all the discs on his belt with LEADJELCHER. Just make sure to not get any of the LEADJELCHER on the red, just the inside of the ring. And for the backpack, I recommend trying to paint with the grain and with the direction of the chimneys as much as possible. So as you can see, this did take a little bit of time to do the step because there were a lot of parts on the model that were metallic. Also be careful when painting around the center of the backpack, as it could be very easy to accidentally get into the grill part, which we spent all the time getting the nice gradient of red as well. And with the mask, once again, just take your time and go around the goggle parts very carefully. And I also decided to paint the other parts of the mask that are on the back of the head with LEADJELCHER as well. And as you can see, I'm being very careful when going around the goggle parts. With that step finally over, the next step was to give it some shading. So I gave all these metallic areas a NULN oil shading. If you want to go for more older, dirtier appearance, I recommend a 1-to-1 mix of NULN oil and Agrax Earthshade. I just wanted to go for a little bit more pristine, so I just used NULN oil. This will give all these metallic areas a lot of definition, as well as give it an older, armored appearance. Luckily, shading takes much less time than the base coat. And when the shade was dry, I highlighted all these areas with Iron Breaker. For the gun, and the backpack and the mask, I basically just used a dry brush or overbrush technique and tried to pick up on all the raised areas and the edges and leave the recesses nice and shaded. And for the discs on the belt, I just painted the center of the belt. And finally, I painted tiny white dots on each goggle with white scars to resemble a reflection. And that's it. You now know how I painted up this Petrov-Morales weapon specialist with a flame launcher. Overall, I really enjoy painting it. It's an excellent looking model and was a lot of fun to paint up. Not the most difficult, and it was painted up relatively quickly. So please leave comments in the comment section down below, or if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and stay tuned for more Dark Potential painting tutorials. Till next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting everyone.